Ever thought about Luther Vandross's family or if he was gay? Wondered how much he made with all those hit songs? Like many, you've probably got loads of questions. With tracks like Dance with My Father and Never Too Much, Luther's smooth voice won him fans worldwide. But his personal life? Well, that's been a bit of a mystery. In this video, we're digging into every part of the King of Soul's life, from the beginning. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Early days. Luther Ronzoni Vandross Jr., the iconic voice behind Dance with My Father, was born on April 20th, 1951, in the vibrant city of New York. His parents, Mary Ida Vandross and Luther Vandross Sr., nurtured a love for music in their household from the start. Growing up in the Alfred E. Smith housing projects in Lower Manhattan, Luther's early life was steeped in melodies and rhythms. Luther Vandross Sr. worked as an upholsterer, while his wife, Mary, dedicated herself to nursing. The musical gene ran deep in the family. Luther's aunt, Patricia Vandross, sang with the Crests in the 1950s. Young Luther's musical talents emerged early. He was already tinkling the ivories at 3 and taking formal piano lessons by 5. Despite these lessons, it was his self-driven passion that truly shaped his musical prowess. Heartbreak hit early when Luther Vandross Sr. passed away in 1959, leaving Luther Jr. just 8 years old. Seeking a fresh start, Luther and his mother moved to the Bronx. There, he attended William Howard Taft High School, where his musical journey took a significant turn. He formed a vocal group called Shades of Jade with friends Carlos Alomar, Robin Clark, Anthony Hinton, Diane Sumler, and Fonzie Thornton. Their talents caught the eye of the Apollo Theater, leading them to perform in the musical theater production Listen, My Brother. Post-high school, Luther briefly enrolled at Western Michigan University, but soon realized his heart was set on a music career. He dropped out to follow his passion, a choice that set him on a path to becoming one of the most beloved and influential artists in music history. Rise to fame. Luther Vandross's musical talent was not just acknowledged. It was celebrated with a dazzling array of prestigious awards, from Grammys to Soul Train Awards. His accolades spanned a wide range of categories, including Best R&B Song, Best R&B Album, Song of the Year, Best R&B Performance, and the NAACP Award for Outstanding Song. Throughout his illustrious career, Luther clinched an impressive 8 Grammy Awards and 8 American Music Awards. His commitment to excellence was reflected in the extensive list of accolades he received. Notably, he garnered a staggering 31 Grammy nominations, a testament to the widespread recognition of his musical genius. Luther's influence extended beyond the recording studio. He became a regular performer on iconic shows like Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show, Rosie O'Donnell, The Arsenio Hall Show, Solid Gold, and Soul Train. His charm and talent captivated audiences everywhere he went. Even in the political arena, Luther earned a special place of honor. He was invited to perform regularly at inauguration events, galas, and Christmas parties in Washington, D.C., earning respect and admiration from political figures. In the world of music and beyond, Luther Vandross's legacy is not just one of awards and accolades, but a testament to his unmatched talent and the indelible mark he left on the hearts of fans, peers, and political luminaries alike. Was he gay? During Luther Vandross's prime in the music industry, persistent speculation surrounded his sexuality. Despite his lack of romantic links with women and the intense emotion in his music, fans often wondered if he might not be entirely straight. In truth, Luther Vandross was gay, a fact he never publicly acknowledged during his lifetime. Close friends, including Patti LaBelle, have revealed that Luther feared coming out would ruin his career. These concerns were justified. At that time, being openly gay in the media was exceptionally rare, and many artists and celebrities concealed their true selves to avoid backlash from both the industry and society. The challenges were particularly severe for someone who was both black and gay, as this combination often attracted intense prejudice and potential professional risks. Luther had a massive following, especially among female fans who adored the smoothness of his voice and the romantic allure of his songs. Coming out as gay might have jeopardized his connection with these fans who may no longer have seen him as attainable. In today's more inclusive and accepting society, Luther could have thrived as an artist regardless of his sexual orientation. It's poignant to reflect, with a sense of sadness, that Luther likely lived in fear of being canceled and felt trapped in a closeted existence. Understanding that he was gay adds a deeper layer of emotion and yearning to his timeless love songs, highlighting the personal struggles behind his soulful voice. Did Luther Vandross get married and have kids? Luther Vandross never settled down. No wife, no kids, just him and those legendary vocals. Talk about a missed opportunity for some seriously talented mini Vandrosses running around. To make matters worse, fate dealt him a cruel hand. He outlived all his siblings, leaving his mom to deal with a grief no parent should ever face. But Luther's life wasn't all smooth sailing on the Love Boat either. Rumors about his personal life swirled like glitter at a disco. He never officially addressed them, but the whispers were more persistent than a catchy hook. Enter Lenny Kravitz, who back in the day shared a building with the enigmatic artist David Lasley. Lenny, ever the observant friend, couldn't help but notice the late-night phone calls between Luther and David, some hilariously on speakerphone. Let's just say, it offered a glimpse into a world Luther preferred to keep hidden. One rare night, Luther let his guard down with Lenny. In a moment of vulnerability, he confessed that despite the adoration showered upon him by his female fans, his heart belonged elsewhere. Lenny, a true friend, understood the loneliness that must have gnawed at Luther. Imagine having a gift like that voice and not being able to fully share yourself with the world. It must have felt like singing with a silencer on. The decision to keep his true self under wraps likely stemmed from a desire to protect those closest to him, especially his fans. Back then, things were different. It was a tightrope walk, navigating a career while living a truth that society wasn't quite ready to embrace. Luther carried the weight of that hidden truth, a constant shadow that undoubtedly colored his personal journey. His gender was his biggest secret. Coming out as LGBTQ+ is never easy, but for black people, it can feel like walking a tightrope over a pit of hungry crocodiles. In Luther Vandross's case, staying close likely wasn't a choice he relished, but a calculated move to navigate a complex web of societal expectations and cultural anxieties. The 80s, when Luther was at his peak, weren't exactly a time of rainbows and butterflies for the LGBTQ+ community. Even whispering the word gay could get you ostracized. Imagine the pressure for a black R&B singer, a genre steeped in tradition and often intertwined with the black church, to defy those expectations and embrace a different truth. There were whispers, sure, but Luther never officially confirmed his sexual orientation. Perhaps he saw the fate of other artists who dared to be different. Maybe he worried about the impact on his fans, many of whom were women who adored his smooth vocals and romantic persona. Unlike pop stars like Boy George or Elton John, there wasn't a clear path for a black, openly gay man in R&B. Luther would have been a pioneer, but being a pioneer often means facing a lot of lonely nights on the frontier. The music industry itself played a role too. Back then, male singers were expected to be a fantasy for their female listeners. Luther's entire image was built on charm and a voice that could melt hearts. Coming out could have been seen as shattering that illusion, potentially jeopardizing his career and the connection he had with his fans. So Luther walked a tightrope. He poured his heart and soul into his music, a form of expression that didn't require explicit labels. While the world may have never known his full truth, the raw emotion in his voice spoke volumes to anyone who listened closely. Unlike some stars who crave the spotlight, Luther Vandross kept his personal life under wraps. When it came to his sexuality, rumors swirled like dust bunnies under a couch, but Luther never felt the need to confirm or deny them. Maybe it was because the industry and society in general weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat for diverse identities back then. This privacy, however, came at a cost. Whispers turned into shouts, with some even making up wild stories about Luther's health. Remember that whole "died of AIDS" rumor back in 2000? Yeah, not cool. In a world where even talking about LGBTQ+ issues felt risky, coming out just didn't seem like a winning move. Even after all that, Luther still yearned for the same things any human being does: love and happiness. He even admitted in an interview that he'd never truly felt that love returned, a pain that followed him from his teenage years. Imagine pouring your heart out in those love songs, only to feel alone in your own life. That's gotta be tough. Despite being celebrated for his love songs that became anthems for generations, Luther Vandross's personal life seemed to lack the fairy tale romance he often sang about. Whether he found true love by the time he passed remains unclear. His struggle to be his true self in a society and industry marked by bigotry highlights the challenges faced by LGBTQ individuals, even those in the public eye. By 2017, although LGBTQ representation in media had improved, the music industry, especially the R&B genre, still had a long way to go. Frank Ocean remains the only openly gay black man in mainstream R&B, showing just how much progress is still needed. The debate over whether Patti LaBelle should have confirmed Vandross's sexuality continues. However, the core issue is an industry and society filled with expectations and biases that kept Vandross from embracing and celebrating his true self openly and proudly. Luther Vandross lived for 54 years. But the real tragedy lies in the pressures that prevented him from being out and proud. A talented and loving individual constrained by societal norms. What caused the death of Luther Vandross? His smooth vocals were a gift that seemed like it would last forever, but his life was tragically cut short by health struggles. In 2003, a stroke struck the singer down, leaving him in a battle he wouldn't fully win. Diabetes and high blood pressure had been lurking shadows, and the stroke's aftermath was brutal. Even with quick medical care, Luther spent months in a coma. When he emerged, his once powerful voice was silenced, and he relied on a wheelchair. Singing, his lifelong passion, was largely out of reach. After years of fighting, Luther passed away in 2005 at the young age of 54. A heart attack claimed him at JFK Medical Center, leaving a gaping hole in the music industry. While his health struggles were known, his sudden death felt like a nightmare. One minute he was there, his voice filling stadiums, and the next it was a silence that reverberated throughout the world. Who sang at Luther's funeral? Luther Vandross, the man whose voice could weave magic with a whisper, battled health issues for years. Diabetes and high blood pressure were constant shadows, lurking throughout his adult life. Then, in 2003, tragedy struck with the force of a hurricane. A stroke left him in a coma for 2 agonizing months. When Luther emerged, it was a different man. The struggle to recover was long and arduous. He had lost his ability to speak, walk, and even sing. The music that flowed so effortlessly from him, the very essence of his artistry, was silenced. Public appearances became a thing of the past, with his last known one being on Oprah in 2004. Despite the challenges, Luther's spirit remained unbroken. He reportedly underwent extensive therapy, determined to regain some semblance of his former life. Sadly, the fight wouldn't last. In 2005, a heart attack stole Luther away at the young age of 54. The news sent shockwaves through the music industry, leaving a void that couldn't be filled. His funeral at Riverside Church in New York was a poignant affair. Cissy Houston, Whitney's mother, delivered a moving tribute, a testament to the deep respect Luther commanded from his peers. The service became a celebration of his life, a life marked by both triumphs and struggles. Luther Vandross's journey may have been cut short, but his voice, though silenced too soon, will forever echo in the halls of music history. His smooth vocals continue to inspire and comfort, a lasting legacy that transcends time. How did he lose weight? Back in '98, Luther dropped a whopping 340 pounds by following a strict high-protein, low-carb diet. That's some serious dedication right there. Of course, Luther was already a giant in the music industry before his weight loss. With his unique voice, he became one of the most influential soul singers and songwriters of the 20th century, earning himself a Grammy along the way. His impact on music, especially as a black male vocalist, was massive. Now, if you're into up-and-coming stars, you might want to turn your attention to Lulu Lambros. This young actress, singer, and dancer has got the full package, and she's already making waves in the industry with her talent and humility. With the support of her parents, Lulu started chasing her dreams at a young age, and now she's killing it on screen and TikTok, with over 41 million likes on her comedic videos. Keep an eye out for this one. She's gonna be huge. Luther Vandross's net worth. By the time he passed away in 2005, he'd amassed a staggering $40 million net worth, a testament to the incredible career he built. But Luther's success wasn't an overnight fairy tale. He honed his skills for years, lending his remarkable voice as a background singer for music industry giants. Imagine sharing the stage with legends like David Bowie, Donna Summer, and Diana Ross. Talk about learning at the feet of the masters. The '80s saw Luther take center stage as the frontman of the group Change. Together, they churned out commercially successful hits, proving Luther wasn't just a talented backup singer, he had star power waiting to be unleashed. And unleash it he did when he embarked on his solo career. This is where Luther truly soared. His songs became international anthems, resonating with audiences worldwide. His collaborations, his duets, pure magic for the ears. Before his untimely death, Luther had sold a mind-blowing 35 million records. That's not just a marker of popularity. It's a testament to the emotional connection he forged with his listeners. And the accolades followed. Luther wasn't just loved by the masses, he was critically acclaimed, winning a staggering 8 Grammy Awards. 4 of those were for Best Male R&B Vocal Performance, a clear recognition of the unique magic he possessed. Just a year before he passed away, Luther even snagged the prestigious Song of the Year Grammy for his deeply personal and emotionally resonant track, Dance with My Father. Sadly, it would be one of his last triumphs, a poignant farewell from a true artist. Even though he's gone, Luther Vandross's voice still echoes in our hearts. He's an icon, a legend, one of the greatest vocalists to ever grace a stage. His legacy extends far beyond awards and record sales. It lives on in the timeless music he created and the hearts of his devoted fans who will forever be touched by the velvet touch of his voice, his real estate. Luther Vandross sure knew how to pick 'em when it came to real estate. Back in the early 2000s, he started selling off a few of his many properties. In 2003, he let go of a 7-room condo in Manhattan for $4,425 million. Not a bad profit considering he snagged it for $3.8 million back in '99. And this place was swanky, located in a building renovated by Donald Trump, no less, with a 4-star restaurant on the ground floor. But that wasn't his only Manhattan pad. In 2000, he sold another condo on the Upper East Side for just over $400,000, and in 1998, he'd flipped another Manhattan condo for a cool $5.6 million. That's some serious real estate wheeling and dealing. And it didn't stop there. In 2002, he sold a property in Stamford, Connecticut for $850,000. But the pièce de résistance was his massive 23,000-square-foot estate in Connecticut, which he sold in 1999 for a cool $10.75 million, a profit of almost $2 million. This place was huge, situated on nearly 15 acres of land just outside Greenwich. Rumor has it Luther even converted the basketball court into a giant closet. So, while Luther may have left us in 2005, his legacy lives on not just through his music, but also through the impressive real estate deals he made during his lifetime. Was there someone he murdered? Unfortunately, Luther Vandross found himself in a tragic situation back in 2003. On a January day, Luther, then 34 and recently Grammy-nominated, was driving his 1985 Mercedes-Benz on the winding roads of Laurel Canyon BLVD when he lost control of the car. He was speeding and couldn't keep the old Merc on his side of the road, veering into oncoming traffic and colliding with not one but two other cars. The crash was devastating. One of Luther's passengers, 27-year-old Lawrence Salvemini from West Hollywood, didn't make it. Lawrence worked at a recording studio, the very place Luther was headed at the time. Talk about a tragic twist of fate. Luther himself wasn't unscathed. He spent nearly a week in the hospital with broken ribs and cuts to his head and face. It could have been worse, but it was still a pretty scary situation. And sadly, everyone involved in the crash was injured, including Lawrence's 15-year-old brother, who was also in Luther's car, and the occupants of the other two vehicles. In the aftermath, Luther was charged with misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter and reckless driving. He was looking at some serious jail time and a fine if convicted. It's a sad reminder that even the most successful people can make tragic mistakes, and it's a powerful warning about the dangers of speeding and losing control on the road. Thanks for joining us on this look back at Luther Vandross's life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about legendary musicians. What's your favorite Luther Vandross song? Let us know in the comments below. So, until next time.